Honorable Men Discord. A shooting took place near the Marathon Burger in Long Beach. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So let's get straight into it. What you see beside me is the news report of the shooting that took place near the Marathon Burger in Long Beach. Now, I do have to note it was not at the actual restaurant. It was near it at a parking lot. So let's get into the news report, and then I have two other things queued up, and we'll talk about it further.
Oh, it's shooting, no?
It was panic on Pine Avenue on Sunday as the sound of gunfire sent people running during what was meant to be a celebration.
Oh, it's shooting, no?
Hundreds had packed this stretch of downtown Long Beach Sunday afternoon for the grand opening of Marathon Burger, the fast food chain founded by the late rapper Nipsey Hussle and his brother Black Sam. But just after 3:30 p.m., police say they received reports of gunfire.
And they ran in one direction and then ran in another direction. And then somebody said that they heard gunshots.
The shooting happened about a half block south of the event on Broadway near Pine, just outside the perimeter that had been blocked off for the celebration. Nipsey Hussle's relatives speaking with Eyewitness News.
It was disappointing because I know that Nip, Sam, Black Sam wanted this to be a happy occasion. So it's unfortunate that something happened that would bring more attention to the negative elements as opposed to positive elements.
3 men were shot and taken to a local hospital where one victim later died. The other 2 remain in stable condition.
That's devastating. You know what I'm saying? Very devastating, especially, being that, what I mean? This is the grand opening. We're here to honor Nipsey Hussle, the late great, you know what I'm saying? And that's not what he would have wanted.
Long Beach police say this is still under investigation with no suspects in custody. Investigators have not said whether the shooting was connected to the grand opening event, but Marathon Burger telling Eyewitness News the incident nearby was not connected to the massive event. The violence comes just one day after hundreds gathered in South LA as the city officially named the intersection of Slauson and Crenshaw Nipsey Hussle Square, honoring the rapper's life and legacy.
All right, so I'm just going to show this video. This is like the some footage from inside Marathon Burger. And let me just note something. Since Nipsey's passing, which was March 31st of 2019, his brother Black Sam has been hard at work maintaining the brand, keeping his legacy alive. Not only keeping his legacy alive, but helping to keep revenue for the family, for himself, and for Nipsey's loved ones. And I have to applaud that because he went straight to it. After Nipsey's passing, he didn't take time off to sulk. I'm sure he did have moments to grieve, but he just stayed at it. He kept the clothing going, not necessarily from the plaza that Nipsey unfortunately was Nipsey lost his life at, but he was keeping the brand going online. And he opened up his first Marathon Burger on Melrose, and then the second one most recently on Venice Beach, and then now this one in Long Beach. I'm sorry, in Long Beach. So this is the third Marathon Burger establishment, and I have to commend him and applaud him for his hard work. In addition to that, I also saw on his Instagram they had a food truck also. So they had a food truck, I want to say, just before launching this one at Long Beach. And that's also something to applaud. It's just he's really grinding. He never slowed down, not once. So I have to applaud that. So let's just get into this video. This is just a shot of inside of the Marathon Burger and how the turnout was.
He doesn't have to come out in the crowd, but I can just...
I guess it played twice. As you can see, YG was there supporting as he's done before. In separate videos, I saw Stevie Wonder even made an appearance, as well as Big Boy from the radio, the West Coast radio, Big Boy in the Neighborhood. Snoop Dogg also made an appearance. And apparently Snoop Dogg has he invested in this particular Long Beach property, Long Beach establishment, because if you don't know, Snoop Dogg is from Long Beach, California. So he definitely made sure he showed out and showed support for two reasons: because of his relationship with Nipsey, and because he partnered up with Black Sam for this particular location. But with that being said, you know, despite the great turnout and the peaceful turnout, something took place down the block, as you saw in the first video clip, in a parking lot. And so it's gained a lot of negative attention. And I just hope the negative attention is not towards the actual establishment, because it doesn't seem like it had anything to do with the actual grand opening, but it was a distraction. So this last video I have is a young lady speaking on her thoughts as to why that happened in the parking lot. So let's get into it. Before I get into it, I just have to note one thing. Unfortunately, three people were injured. 3 people were shot, and one actually lost their life in that situation that took place, I want to say a block or half a block down from the Marathon Burger. But let's get into this young lady and her thoughts on this whole thing.
Hey, I wanted to say this real quick, just to make a real quick point. Let me cross the street. Oh, fuck. Can't. Okay, so before Nipsey passed away, when he was trying to, like, establish a lot of businesses, the police used to fuck with him. And it used to be other people that would fuck with him really, really, really bad. And, of course, I don't know who these enemies are, but I was looking at... I'm going to have to talk more about this later. Never mind. I got to cross the street. So, he was being fucked with a lot by different organizations, okay? And I'll just say this. I can't really say too much, but there's some real strong corruption when it comes to Long Beach, what's being established here in Long Beach Police Department, okay? But I was looking at the videos today. I didn't go to the marathon thing because them large crowds, like, I will fight somebody, okay? But I feel like it's something about Nipsey and his brother, and they don't, I could be wrong, but I feel like they don't work with certain people who wants to work with them. And so in turn, there's like some retaliation. And so today I was looking at the videos because it was a video of of a shooting today, right? And so I'll just say this: what bothers me is when I seen the videos, because this is a black-owned business that's opening up on Pine. And if you are familiar with the Long Beach area and the Pine area and Belmont Shore, those areas, it's mostly yuppies and a lot of white people, okay? And downtown Long Beach is diverse, don't get me wrong, but it's not as, how do I say, like, it's not as bad as, like, LA, okay? But the point I'm trying to make is this. I seen the videos that people was posting in the comments people were making in regards to this shooting. And when it come to Long Beach and what they're trying to do, it's almost as if him opening up this business is going against somebody and they're mad about that, right? And so they stage these shootings and then try to associate the shootings with what's going on, like him opening up Marathon Burger. So now you have all these people, because I seen people recording and they were white people, okay? And they said, well, this is going to bring more crime to our area. This is going to... I'm going to tell you the slick shit that they doing in Long Beach. And I could tell you based off of experience, I don't know if I'm really ready to tell that story yet, because that'll be me telling my business, so I'll wait. But what I'll say is this, that Long Beach is trying to gentrify very strongly, and especially in areas that's already Black, Brown, Cambodian, Polynesian, all of that. Long Beach is very, very diverse. I love Long Beach. Long Beach remind me of Minneapolis. I love Long Beach. I've been here since I moved to SoCal. And I just feel like Black Sam is just doing and carrying out certain things, and it's making certain motherfuckers mad. Now, I'm not surprised that this would happen at the grand opening, but what I find interesting is that the grand opening that happened, I don't know if it was West LA or Hollywood area, that nothing happened there, but then Long Beach, there was a shooting, and trust and believe, I swear to God, I believe that shit is staged. Why? Because they don't want us to have shit, and they're trying to take over this area. And so eventually I will tell, and I really feel like Trump or somebody need to intervene on the bullshit that they're doing here in Long Beach, and how they're secretly trying to take over this shit. And it's really irritating because...
I had to pause this. President Trump's not going to get involved in any issue involving a fast food establishment. I say that respectfully. President Trump is not, much less one that's a tie to a rap artist. His brother has a tie to rap music, has a tie to anything urban. And if you disagree with me, I'll see you in the comment section. This is just what it is. All right. And I understand where she's coming from with this, her perspective. And I think anything's a possibility. I'm not here to say that that is the reason why there was a shooting on the same day of a grand opening of a establishment where celebrities came out to support it, where, again, a well-known, reputable radio station host in Big Boy came out. And all those people you saw in the second video, all those people you saw in the second video who came out, I don't think that it's a coincidence that there was a shooting in a parking lot not too far from the establishment. You know, luckily it wasn't among the crowd, because a lot more people could have been injured, and that's not to make light of the person who lost their life. You know, rest in peace to that person. Condolences to their family. Speedy recovery to the two other victims of the shooting. That's not to make light of anything that happened to them, but it could always be worse. You could have had a crowd trampling over people, but again, I'm not here to say that what she's saying, her perspective, is incorrect. It's possible, and she sounds like she's from that area, so she would know it better than me. It's possible that they don't want your establishment there for a number of reasons. Some people are fearful of anything that is associated with the young generation, particularly those that are of melanin skin, and particularly those that are melanated and are associated with hip hop and rap. Rap does not have a positive. It doesn't have necessarily a positive image that those that are not in the community associated with. Most people outside of urban neighborhoods, they don't see rap as something that's positive. They look at it as negative. They look at it as something that's very destructive and violent, and something that they look at it as something that promotes foul language. And unfortunately, you got to ask yourself, what does rap music promote? And I'm asking this question to those of you watching this episode as someone who took part in creating rap music myself. What exactly do you think as a whole rap music promotes? And if you think it promotes something other than what people may look at it, people from the outside may look at it, let me know in the comment section. But unfortunately for us, most of the rap music that charts is not necessarily positive. And I'm not saying that there isn't positive artists out there. Obviously, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, I would say Drake. But even all of those artists, some of their lyrics may be, to others, may be controversial or somewhat violent, or promote some form of violence, you know. But listen, this is just what it is, you know, and it's a possibility. It's a great possibility. Is there a possibility that this incident had nothing to do with a possible plot to damage the brand? It's possible that it had nothing to do with that. We really don't know what it is as yet. At the time of this recording, there was nothing said about the nature and whether or not they caught the person who fired the firearm. We don't know what it was about. It could have been something over parking in the parking lot. It could have had nothing to do with a conspiracy. It could have had nothing to do with the Marathon Burger establishment. We just don't know. Right now, all we could do is speculate. But again, I just want to end. I'm not going to continue playing her videos. It's fairly lengthy. But again, all I have to say is that, you know, congrats to Black Sam for staying strong and still working hard and making your brother proud in his absence, you know. And if anything, I just hope and pray that Black Sam is protected as he continues to grind and work hard and keep that brand alive and well, because you know, we don't want to see him targeted for any reason. You know, he's making an honest living. At least from my lens, he's making an honest living, and I want to see him continue to be successful. But that's my thoughts on this. What's your thoughts on this, the event that took place near the establishment? And as always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, on your way out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and as always, stay honorable.